Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today, I'm going to discuss my predictions for the 5th episode and penultimate episode of Wandavision. So, here's what you know from last week. 1, we have a good solid prediction that we're going to find out officially that Vision isn't real. And I think he might find out himself that he isn't the real Vision. Because from that really creepy scene last week, we know he's not real, but we're just waiting for official confirmation, and I think that'll come in this episode. And I think I have 3 predictions, really, so that's the first one. My second one is that we'll find out what the deal is with Westview. As Westview's a bit of a mystery at the moment. It exists, but it doesn't. So we're not quite sure what's going on there, but I think by the end of this episode, we're gonna know. At least I hope. Because that is a pretty big mystery at the moment with the whole show. Because the police from the area couldn't see it, but the members of SWORD could. And a little fact about SWORD, it's a descendant organisation to S.H.I.E.L.D. made by Maria Rambeau, aka Monica Rambeau's mother, and Captain Marvel's best friend from Captain Marvel, which is actually pretty cool. Yeah, so those are my first 2 predictions. My final one is that this week, we are going to find out who the main villain of the entire show is. There's been a couple of theories bouncing around the internet, but there's one I'm very sketchy on, one which I'm pretty convinced of, but not quite. Like, they would have to pull off some miracles to get this one. The main prediction, main villain's Wanda. That doesn't quite add up for me, as she hasn't really been a villain since Age of Ultron, and I don't think they'd reverse her character to have her be the main villain. I just don't think it'd work. She's too good of a character to do that. Like, I know she's annoyed at Thanos, but he's dead. He is gone. The only thing now that could still annoy her is that Vision's dead, but again, he was the reason for that, so I just don't know. But the other theory is a character known as the Grim Reaper. Do you guys know that name? Good. Because in the comics, the character of the Grim Reaper tries to kill Vision a lot. Like, a lot. And the reason I think he could be the main villain of the show is that in episode 2, the 60s episode, during the intro sequence when Vision was flying up through the floorboards in his cartoon form, his helmet could be seen on one of the shelves in the room he was flying up through. I think it was the middle shelf. Like, you guys can go check that if you want, because his helmet was definitely there. It was definitely his, so they would have to pull off some stuff to do that, but I think he could be and probably will be the main villain of the whole show. Because he's a pretty big one in the comics, especially to Vision. As I said, tries to kill him multiple times. And he always seems to go after Vision too. It's never any of the other Rangers, it's just him. And this week is the 80s episode, so we're going to see a lot of cheesiness, which I'm fully ready for. And I think this will be the last sitcom episode, as in the trailer, we see Vision break out of Westview into the real world. Whether he survives that, I don't know. Because, of course, Vision's dead. But if they can bring him back, sweet. And that means that our official death toll for Infinity War is very low. Because, well, Infinity War and Endgame, because we have lost Tony, we have lost Heimdall, and Captain America. Because in the Loki trailer, if you guys remember, we saw who people think was Black Widow, sitting in an alternate version of New York. So Black Widow might be back. Possibly, maybe. We'll have to find out when Loki comes out. So if Vision is back, we have a very low death count for Infinity War and Endgame, which, as I've mentioned before, pales in comparison to the comic Endgame and Infinity War. Whew! So as I said before, if you guys didn't like the amount of deaths in those films, don't read the comics. For the love of God. And that'll do it for this video, guys. Just wanted to make this prediction video to see if I was right, because by the time this video comes out, the episode will be out. So, I'll be making a video tomorrow to see if I was wrong. Or right. We'll find out. So, as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my and Roxanne's YouTube channels. Her link's in the description, my sub button's down there. Once you've hit our sub buttons, don't forget to click both of our bell icons to get both sets of notifications. Comment, because why not, and let me know what your predictions were for this episode and if they came true. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links are down there in the description. And lastly, don't forget to share this video with all your friends so they can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Goodbye.